What's up, guys? This video of Attack on Titan Chapter 94 review is brought to you by dogs. Mainly this one. Come on, say hi to the camera. Look, say hi to the camera. You don't want to say hi? No? Alright. Go somewhere. Go. Okay, so this chapter of Attack on Titan was basically just all about world building. We basically got to see what the people of Ymir. I don't know if it's pronounced people Iden or Idlin. I still don't know how to pronounce it. So I'm gonna call them people Ymir for the rest of the video and the videos onwards until I figure out the correct pronunciation. But anyway, we basically got to see how they live, which not we didn't really get any new information from this chapter. It was basically just the same as Grisha's flashback a few chapters ago, but we got to see the present day version of that, where the people of Ymir are still being oppressed by the people of Marley. They're basically living in concentration camps, and they're basically forced to, brainwash each new generation to thinking, oh, the people on Paradise Island, the island that Eren and them live on, are demons, they're evil, they're the reason why we're at war, they're the reason why we're being oppressed, and once we win against them, once we defeat them in war, then we'll go back to being like one happy unit, like the whole island would no longer be split between the people of Marley and the people of Ymir. We'll all be just one happy organization, we'll work together, there'll be no more oppression, there'll be no more concentration camps. It's basically all we got in this chapter was that the older generation is feeding that information to the newer generation. Now, the older generation knows that's bullshit because that's the same kind of information they were fed. They were told that, oh, once the people of Ymir or once the people over on Paradise Island are defeated, we can end this war and we can go on to being no longer oppressed by the people of Marley. They know that's bullshit because they lived through history. They lived through it all long enough to know no matter what happens, they're always going to be oppressed. Now, the younger generation, Gabby's generation, actually truly believes this. They actually do fall into this trap of, oh, once the war's over, everything we find will all be one happy family. We'll all live lives the way we want to live. We won't have to worry about, living in this cornered off section of the island. We won't have to be oppressed. We won't have to be looked down on anymore. Everything's gonna be fine. The only exception to the younger generation who doesn't believe this is Falco. And we find out in the chapter that Falco basically plans on betraying the people of Marley. He basically plans on, after getting the power of the Armor Titan, to basically just destroy them from the inside, basically take down the Marley government, free his people from oppression, and end the war that way. He doesn't care about the people on the island, on Paradise Island, Eren and them. He doesn't care about any of that. He just wants to end the war from his side by basically taking down the people of Marley and freeing his people. Now, we find this out because he starts thinking back to the conversation him and Reiner had at the end of the last chapter, where Reiner basically told him, hey, I want you to work hard so that you are chosen to be the, candidate to take on the Armor Titan's power instead of Gabby. I want you to save her from this. Now, we find this out when Falco thinks back to the conversation him and Reiner had last chapter, where Reiner basically told him, hey, I want you to inherit the power of the Armor Titan and save Gabby from this fate. I want you to be the one to be my successor. Now, we find out from Falco in this chapter that if anyone else had been told that, if anyone else would have heard Reiner say that, if Reiner had told that to anybody else who was actually loyal to the people of Marley, who was actually, buying the lies and drinking all the Kool-Aid, Reiner would have died. Reiner would have been reported. He would have lost all credibility he's gained since his last failure when Berto died. Basically, we find out in the chapter after that failure, people were questioning him whether or not he's actually loyal to the people of Marley, but he's built up his reputation enough to where no one's questioning that anymore. He's basically one of the top soldiers now behind, I think, Zeke. All that credibility would have been lost. He would have been sent to death. His power would have been taken over by the next candidate, which most likely would be Gabby, and that'd be the end of it. But Falco suspects that the reason why Reiner was comfortable telling him that and was able to trust him with that information is because Reiner also doesn't trust the people of Marley, which we'll find out later on in the chapter is true, and that he actually wants Falco's plan to take over to basically overrun the people of Marley to succeed. So yeah, that's basically Falco's part in the chapter. We also get a little bit of him like helping out wounded soldiers, basically saying, hey, I'm gonna fix this shit. Once I get the power of the Titan, I'm going to fix this shit. You don't have to worry about doing any of this anymore. Your fight's over. You can rest. That's basically all he says. Then for the rest of the chapter, we focus on Reiner and Gabby. Apparently, Reiner and Gabby are actually cousins. When we see the two of them in the beginning of the chapter meet up with their families, apparently Reiner's mom is Gabby's aunt. So both families basically just sit down and have a dinner together, celebrating, the victory that they had. Gabby's telling them about everything she did in the war, about that sneak attack she pulled off to destroy the train. Then the conversation switches over to Reiner, where everyone's basically like, hey Reiner, why don't you tell us what happened while you were on the island for 5 years? You know, tell us what it's like living with all those demons on the Paradise Island. And Gabby's like, hold up, guys, hold up, hold up. You know he's not allowed to talk about that. You know that's classified information. Plus, I'm sure Reiner doesn't want to remember any of that because he was basically on that island full of terrifying demons who basically probably treated him like shit, probably was trying to kill him left and right. He doesn't want to remember any of that shit. It was all painful memories for him. And Reiner kind of breaks down. Reiner breaks down and is like, you know what? You're right, Gabby. That was painful memories. They all were demons over there. That was the most horrible experience of my life. And this is basically where we get Reiner's perspective, and we find out that, yeah, Reiner probably doesn't believe all the Kool-Aid. He's not drinking the Kool-Aid. He's not buying all the shit about the people of Marley anymore. Where he's basically like, he basically reminisces on his time over on the island about, like, his first interaction with Sasha, how he met with Connie, Aaron, and all of them. And basically, he's basically looking back on it and saying, I made a mistake by basically aligning myself with the people of Marley. Those are good people over there. They're not demons. They're not evil. They don't want this war. They don't even really know this war is going on. They're all good people over there. And I betrayed their trust. And I regret that. And that's basically what he says in this chapter. Now, no one picks up on that except for his mom. It looks like his mom picks up on the fact that he's thinking about betraying the people of Marley. And she quickly turns the conversation. She's like, no, they're demons. Don't, be tricked by what he says. They're demons. They're evil. And we had to destroy them. That's our mission. That's our goal. And once we do that, everything will be fine. She's, trying to basically fostering more of that information into Gabby, saying that brainwashing that once the war's over, the people of Marley and the people of Ymir will be one and the same. And we find out later that the reason why Reiner's mom is so brainwashed and so, trying to force that brainwashing onto Gabby is because, alright, so Reiner's not all people of Ymir. He doesn't have that blood in him fully. He's half, and he's also half Marley. Now, that's the reason why she basically is trying to push on that brainwashing onto him and onto Gabby's generation is because she's basically tricked herself into believing that once this war's over, once the people of Ymir defeat the people on Paradise Island, that everybody will be one and the same, that they will buy into that. She's basically drinking the Kool-Aid. She really is drinking the Kool-Aid and just thinking that the people of Marley will stop oppressing the people of Ymir and that she can be with her husband or she can be with the guy who's Reiner's father. Now, we don't confirm whether or not I guess it's kind of implied that it was actually a consensual relationship between the two of them, that they actually did fall in love. But since it's illegal for the two of them to be together, they can't be together until this war's over or until basically their family gets a status of being Marleyan, which we all know is not going to happen anytime soon. And we've also found out through this flashback that that's the main reason why Reiner worked so hard to become the Armored Titan, is that he wanted to, give his mom the life that she wanted and, for her to be happy, which is, commendable. I'm not going to blame Reiner for that. Everybody wants to get their parents what they want. It's nothing new. And we basically find out in this flashback that Reiner was kind of the last one. He was kind of like the lowest of the low when it came to the candidates to be a Titan, which makes me question why he was chosen to be one of the 4 Titans who got sent over to the island of Paris. We don't really get a confirmation on why he was one of the chosen ones this chapter, but it's basically something that you have to question now from the information we got in this chapter. We also saw Annie in a flashback, and we weren't exactly sure what was up with her. She was like hiding something that she was doing in the dirt with her foot, and it was kind of basically to build suspicion up to her. Maybe she's gonna turn out to be a traitor all along, which I really would like, because I always hoped that Annie, once she got out of that encasing that she put herself in, would eventually join up with Aaron and his team. Basically do the opposite of what Ymir did, where she was against the people of Marley, but ended up joining up with them to, further her own goals. Hopefully Annie will do the opposite, where she was with the people of Marley, but instead goes with the people of Ymir or the people on Paradise Island to further her goals instead. But yeah, it's pretty much all that happens in the chapter. It was, like I said, basically a world building chapter, giving us like what the other side looks like in this present day, and yeah, that's about it. If you enjoyed the review, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop me a like, subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Comment down below with your thoughts on the chapter, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.